Okay, now how many times have you driven by a house like that one that Dave was just at, right? Whether you know it or you don't know it, you drive by them all the time. So you A, have to identify them, and B, you have to know what message you're going to tell that owner. So it all comes down to marketing. That's the key. I mean, without marketing, you're never going to have an opportunity to find these leads. And without the leads, it's never going to convert to a deal. Does that make sense? It's all about marketing. So we have a student named Billy. I want you to check out this clip right here. He used the same strategy. One of the strategies that we use in our marketing campaign. Just one of the strategies, right? And this strategy is actually called driving for dollars. Just like Dave did, Billy copied this thing, did the same thing. Let's see how he made out.
Hey everybody, how's it going guys? My name's Billy Batson, I'm 23 years old and I'm a real estate investor here in Sarasota County, Florida. I've been investing in real estate over a little bit over 2 years now. I was just a student of Pete and Dave's Flipping Formula, and ever since I got the education, we've had a lot of success in real estate. Before that I was working at the Turvis Tumbler Cup factory, working the night shift, so real estate has changed my life dramatically. We've been really successful in doing wholesales and flips, so to tell you guys a little bit about that, within our last 2 years of investing, we have done 16 successful deals, 7 or 8 of which have been wholesales, so we love the wholesale game. To tell you guys a little bit about one of our most recent wholesales, we bought a house a few months ago. It was in Nokomis, Florida, and it was a house that we came across by driving our neighborhood. We noticed that it had been vacant, it could use some work, it needed to be fixed up, lovely neighborhood. So we did our comps, we did our market research, and we found that the house was valued at around $230,000 to $240,000 after repair value. So we knew our ARV, and we did our research. We found that the seller actually lived in the city, not far from the subject property. And we seen that she had just bought it about 5-6 months ago and what she had paid for it, and definitely made sense that there was some room in there. So we went to her mailing address and left a note on her doorstep with a business card, and it was about a month later she called me and said that she was interested in selling the house. So right away I asked her, where are you at and when can I meet you? And we met the following day out at the property, and we walked through the house together, and after I got my boots on the ground training, I was pretty good at evaluating the repair cost and what the house was gonna need to be fixed up. And I made her an offer right there on the spot in the living room for $110,000 that she accepted, which was very exciting. So we knew right there that the house was worth $240,000 ARV, so we had plenty of room with our repair cost. And we walked through and averaged our repair cost at about $40,000. So there was almost $100 grand of equity in the deal. So we knew it was a good deal right away. And I took that deal to my local real estate group and offered it to some local cash buyers there. And I had it sold that afternoon. I had a $2,500 cash deposit in my bank account, and we closed 19 days later, and for a wholesale total of $10,000 on that property. So it was an excellent deal. They came in after paying $120,000 for the house. They put in about $45,000 in repairs, so they were in at $165,000, and they closed on that house for $265,000 in less than 30 days of being on the market. So it was an excellent wholesale deal for them. They were ecstatic. The buyers were very happy. The new homeowners were extremely happy with the product, and we made a fast $10,000 on just assigning over a contract. So needless to say, we were ecstatic.
Pretty exciting, right? I mean, you see the excitement in Billy's face. You see the smile from ear to ear. And I'm smiling right now because I'm watching the video just like you are, and you see the transformation. He had the job in the factory, and in his words, life-changing, right? He follows a system, a proven system, and for him, it was life-changing. Just by mimicking what other people are doing, what Dave and myself are doing, the successes in what we're doing, you copy it and you get the same results, right? So it's good to see that smile on his face. Now, let me ask you this question. He talked about offering $110,000, and he was happy about that. How did he know? How do you know? How would you know what to offer? What's your max offer for ownership, right? What's that number? How do you know that? He had almost like a presence of certainty and empowerment behind that offer. Guess why? Because there's a formula for that as well, all right? And I'm going to tell you what the formula is right now. We're actually going to plug Billy's numbers into the formula, see how he did, and I can guarantee you this, you're never going to forget this. You're never going to forget the formula, and you'll see why right now why. Because first let's start off with the name of the formula. It's called the MOFO Formula. So right there and then, you're never going to forget it, okay? The MOFO Formula. So what does it mean? It's an acronym for the maximum offer for ownership. What did Billy offer, right? What was his MOFO number? So let's define what the MOFO is. So MOFO formula equals ARV. He mentioned that, the after repair value, the listing price that he decided he was going to sell. He didn't pull that out of the air, by the way. He did his comps, he did his research, and he saw that the average home, similar to what he was going to sell, the comps showed a number of, what do you say, 240,000? That was the average number. That's where he came up with that number. So the ARV, okay, and minus your 20% profit, minus your 10% soft costs, minus your repairs. That's the definition of the MOFO formula. Now, what are these numbers? What's the 20%, the 10%? So, ARV, let's write them down. ARV, Billy said in this case it was $240,000, right? 20%. What is the 20%? That's the profit that you want to make, that I want to make, that Billy wants to make. So 20% of the ARV comes out to $48,000, correct? That's the number that I start off with first. Why? Because I want to make sure that I get paid first. And you want to make sure that you get paid first. Trust me, you don't want to do this last. I reverse engineer everything. And I'm reverse engineering this to make sure that we get paid first. Okay? Put that money in your pocket first. Next, we have the 10% soft costs. This is a number a lot of investors don't even consider. And that's why they have catastrophes out there, because they're not considering there's other costs than repairs, right? So this number is actually every cost except your repair cost. For example, real estate commissions, mortgage cost, utilities, etc. Okay? So 10% again of ARV, $24,000, right? And the last number that is really customized towards each deal are the repairs. You just can't use a percentage for that, because some houses just need paint, some houses need paint and carpet, and some houses you have to gut out completely and need everything. So Billy determined that this house needed $40,000 in repairs. So what's the MOFO formula? ARV minus your profit, 20%, minus your soft cost, minus the repairs. That gives you $128,000. Okay? That is the maximum offer for ownership. What did Billy offer? 110. Now probably, I haven't asked him, but probably that was his first number. He probably did the MOFO and said, I'm going to start at 110 because I'm not going to start out with my maximum offer for ownership, right? Does that make sense? I'm going to start somewhere where I have some wiggle room. He said 110, and what happened? They accepted the offer. Then what did he do? He added 10,000, right? We'll put a number sign on that, 10,000 for the wholesale fee. So he went and sold this to another investor. For whatever reason, he flipped some, he wholesales some, right? That's what he said. And so that person ended up paying $120K for this deal. What was our maximum offer for ownership in order to make $48,000, 20%? $128. How did that investor do? They actually did better than Billy expected, because as you heard in the video, I think they got in the range of $260-something thousand. So they hit it out of the park. All right, so that's it. I kind of took it the long way for you to really understand what the MOFO formula is. And when you're using strategies, one of the strategies, by the way, the driving for dollars is one of the strategies that Billy used, just like Dave used in the example, one of the strategies that brings in leads. You need all the strategies. You can't just, can't just depend on one. But just using that one strategy brought in a deal like this, a lead, I should call it a lead, and the MOFO formula really determined whether it was a deal or no deal. Now, this is part one of a 3-part video series called The Marketing Machine. What is the marketing machine? It's the entire system we use to get our leads. It's the system that Billy uses to get his leads. So I promise you, it's nothing like you've ever seen before. Only our highest level, mastermind students have had access to this, and I'm excited about it, and I'm sure you are too. So on this page, you have instructions on how to get access to part 2 of the video series, and then a few days later, you'll get part 3, which goes a little bit more in depth, and you'll also get what we call our secret weapon, okay? So I'll just leave it at that. And I think that's it. I mean, you'll get both. The marketing machine diagram, which is huge, okay, and you get access to the next video. Subscribe, make sure you also fill in the comment section. It's important to us, it's important to students and everyone watching this video. What was your aha moment about the MOFO formula? Did that help you out? The driving, that one strategy, the driving for dollars strategy. Any aha moments then? So fill out the comment section. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.